Hello everyone, and welcome back to the final part of Ace Attorney Justice for All. We're gonna be finishing this trial and this game today, and I have a feeling it's not gonna be quick. It's probably gonna take some time, so we're just gonna jump right into this. Oh, we're already here.
Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready.
I'm ready for the people to hate me, because they already do. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Why is he so mad?
I can understand the defense acting like this. Although, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's a fantastic question. It's nothing, Your Honor. He went to go get the results of the test, of the analysis, handwriting analysis. Were they not good? What's wrong with Edgeworth? Looks like something unexpected just happened to him.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, you can please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Ms. Impax's suicide note.
Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This note was not written by Miss Impax herself. It is a fake. Ooh.
Order. Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? I am confused. If this was not written by Miss Impax, then who wrote it?
We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Horn Carita. So he probably wrote the note to set Matt up. Was there even a note in the first place? Mr. Carita? Well, it looks like Ms. Impax never left a suicide note after all. Man. All that work Adrian went through for nothing. It wasn't even a note. She never wrote anything about Engard. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Engard could not have known that, and so that fact remains unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it.
That seems plausible. That does sound very...
You know, I was joking. I was just looking at him nodding, and I went, that seems plausible, and then I was going to read what he actually said. He basically said what I said. We're mind-melding, Judge. This theory that Engard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. Present evidence! This is the spy camera, right? The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Engard to not have known it was a fake. Because of... I went the long way for some reason. The spy camera.
What is this little item called again? I forget.
A video camera, Your Honor. How do you not know that?
I'm stupid.
Well, a very small one, but...
Oh, that's right, a camera. You kids and your fancy toys nowadays.
Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Engard knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. Engard would have known that the victim had forged the note.
So then, the defendant knew the suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way.
Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Engard's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Engard monitored Mr. Carita 24 hours a day. I don't know, he might have. He had quite the setup in his house. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Engard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Gah.
Order. Mr. Edgeworth. It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave.
As I figured.
Huh? As you figured.
As I figured, it came down to this after all.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense.
When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? What are you planning, Edgeworth? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Engard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle.
I like that idea. I agree with you there.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Who else is there to testify?
Oh? Well, that's fine.
However, this witness is a little unusual. Edward's stuttering? This is not like him at all.
Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth?
This witness is the one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley to kill her to commit murder. Is it actually Shelley to kill her? That's impossible. Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. Who is this witness?
It's
Yes, go on. Who is it? I'm so excited. Please tell me.
the man himself. I knew it. I knew it. Mr. Shelley to kill it. How'd you get him in here? If he's in here, doesn't that mean Maya's safe?
Oh, Mr. DeKiller. Wait. Shelley DeKiller? You mean the killer? The assassin?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's coming here, to the witness stand.
Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission.
Well, Mr. Wright?
Yes?
Is this all right with you?
Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. Well, if he's here, he's away from Maya.
I wonder if it really is all right to do this.
Very well then, the prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? How is he here already? Now then, witness. Your name and your occupation, please? Occupation, murder. Oh, you're not physically here. You're just on the transmitter. Darn it! I was like, oh boy, Maya's safe. Oh. Very good, sir. My name is Shelley DeKiller, and I am a professional assassin.
I say, what is going on here?
Your Honor?
How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio?
Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. Oh, you got one. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. DeKiller will testify to this court. So this must be what the urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh, that's right.
Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. That's too wacky.
Judge, we had a bird testify in the last game. This is nothing.
First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. DeKiller himself.
Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are in fact Shelley DeKiller. I understand. Please wait a second.
I'm so hungry.
Oh. Still got Maya. Maya?
A voice. Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this?
The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley DeKiller.
Looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events in my wacky court. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so I'll just take your word for it.
Now then, witness, there is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida.
Gulp!
Now that we've answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well.
This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream.
Judge, you faced worse in this court. Shelley DeKiller. What is he going to say? About my client. There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client.
Mr. Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us.
I am.
How rude.
While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. De Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief.
You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. How very nice. I only wish to have that level of trust myself. Perhaps with you, Phoenix Wright.
No, Judge.
Curses. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix.
Okay, an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. Why? The trust between you and your client.
I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity.
Well, apparently you weren't discreet enough this time.
If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome.
And that is why you're testifying in this manner.
This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder.
You messed up, buddy.
I must preserve the De Killer name so my clients can trust me.
Apparently you weren't slick enough. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust?
It has never happened before, but if it ever did,
Yes.
that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly...
That's enough. Please, no more. This is too violent for my court.
Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway.
And that is the reason I'm here today on this witness stand. What? Elaborate. I'm still not getting why you're willingly here. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them.
It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role.
Really now. Also, something that I've been thinking of recently that I keep forgetting to mention in the recording. Like, ever since it was revealed that Matt Engard did in fact hire Shelley De Killer, why on earth did he tell us to go to his mansion and feed his cat? Like, first of all, it seemed in character for the Matt Engard we thought we knew, who was just kind of dumb, for him to be like, go feed my cat, dude. I'm like, okay. But we know that Matt Engard's actually rather cold and calculated, and he's like not as dumb as we originally thought. So why did he send us there? Like, he had to have known that that's where De Killer was. Like, why?
Their role.
This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven.
You. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? You're a murderer.
To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, would you care to die?
No, I didn't say anything. I have to be at Mahjong. I can't miss that if I'm dead. I'm going to miss it if I'm dead.
The judge had better watch himself.
It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client.
Is that it? Okay. This is one of those moments where I wasn't quite sure. I checked the guide. It's always like, when I go to check the guide, it's like, how would I ever have guessed that? I have to press all this again. The trust between you and your client.
I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity.
You said this already. Those are the roles and duties. Okay, I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. It's different now. You said that your client had already broken the rules.
A person who frames another is the worst kind of human.
And that's why you feel you can betray this person.
I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role.
Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured?
Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic?
This case just keeps getting better and better.
If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed.
Everyone understands your point, I think. Really.
In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. I'm getting impatient. Excellent.
Oh, did you add a statement? Oh. Okay.
What is it?
Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name.
If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness.
I'm trying to figure out what would Matt Engard have done though, that he went against it, because the way what he's describing of it trying to frame someone else makes it sound like it's Adrian Andrews.
What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida?
That person's name is Adrian Andrews. See? What he was describing sounded like Adrian Andrews. What's going on here? What?
Witness. That's not who you told me it was earlier.
Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. I think you're lying.
Oh, what?
He's gotta be lying.
This can't be. On the phone earlier.
What's going on here?
My guess is that Mr. DeKiller just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back.
Stabbed Edgeworth in the back?
I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. DeKiller told him a different name. Matt Engard, perhaps?
I knew it.
This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie.
But you are the one who summoned this witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
Ugh. Oh, you, Shelley DeKiller.
My testimony is the truth. I don't know that it is. I think it is Matt. And you're like, the trust is very important. So I'm gonna throw someone else under the bus.
The defendant at the moment is Matt Engard, am I correct? All I wish to do is to help procure his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this.
Yeah. I don't think I want to win it, though.
The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. DeKiller's client, who requested the murder, was not the defendant at all.
No.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt Engard is innocent.
You're so easily convinced. I think he's lying.
I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please, continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict.
He's gone.
Bailiff, please bring Ms. Adrian Andrews in immediately.
But now, with the way this is going, Engard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya.
Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. DeKiller is lying. And Engard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? I don't think you can.
Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant?
Your Honor, the prosecution requested permission to further question the witness. Shelley DeKiller is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now, it was all one big lie.
I believe you, girl. Ms. Andrews.
The suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie.
But Mr. DeKiller himself has testified.
Judge, you should know that people lie by now.
He has named you as his client.
No, that's not true.
I'm easily swayed, and I am swayed. Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the nickel samurai costume,
But that's...
You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impact was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead.
No. Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please. Help me.
I gotta help her. Yes, I know the truth.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions.
I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? We gotta wait for Gumshoe's evidence. What am I supposed to do? We gotta request to continue the trial. We gotta.
Phoenix,
I can't do it, Mia.
I can't accept a not guilty. You are a lawyer.
I know. But Matt Engard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than Engard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact. That is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten Engard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. Yeah, he's been helping us out. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? We can't betray him. I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Of course we trust him. I mean, he's been helping us this whole time.
Mr. Wright, your opinion, please.
The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. DeKiller, and I also think that Edgeworth is best boy.
Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright?
Right, you think I'm best boy?
But I'm right here. The witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done.
I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses, lies, and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor.
Yeah, sure. I don't know that this would fly in the real world, but sure.
There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. We've got to rely on Franziska to bring it.
Very well, the trial will continue, I guess. I just love you both so much that I will do it. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. DeKiller.
Oh, I love when you bow.
Oh, right away, Your Honor.
Has a verdict been reached?
Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more.
About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need from me?
Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done.
What is he talking about, usually done? He's bluffing.
But what shall we have him testify about now? The world is our oyster. We can ask him anything.
Mr. DeKiller, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail.
You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? About my client, part 2. As I've already stated quite a few times, Agent Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Agent Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Carrito was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules.
This is a most unexpected turn of events. For the 5th time now. I've been here forever. However, this time, everything has finally been revealed.
Just a second, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, was I being too hasty?
We still have the cross-examination to do.
But you don't need to question testimony like this. You, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here.
Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. I am so confused. If you scrutinize the testimony, then...
Then I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose.
I don't understand what's going on anymore. My brain hurts.
That makes two of us. Okay, I feel like I have to present something on when he was like, Adrian Andrews for sure knew. Adrian Andrews already knew from the beginning that Juan Carita was dead. There's gotta be something that we can present that disproves that. I feel like it's the wine glass because her fingerprints are on it, and if she knew, she would have made sure to not leave that behind. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. DeKiller. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Carita had been murdered.
But how? How do you know that?
From this wine glass, Your Honor.
The glass.
Mr. DeKiller's supposed client thought Mr. Carita had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim.
But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan?
That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would have never... They would never have left their fingerprints behind.
I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this?
Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon?
Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct?
I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have knowledge of Mr. Carita's death. If not, that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all.
How strange.
Yes?
Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Because I don't wanna.
Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know that you can't say things like that without any evidence.
Ah, sorry.
What is happening? I feel like they're in on something, and I'm out of the loop. I feel like a third wheel in a friendship. I am that friend that when you're walking together on the sidewalk, I have to stand behind. And that's not okay, because it's supposed to be me and Phoenix Wright. I can't believe that these two would leave me out of something in my own wacky court.
It's okay, Judge. You know I'll walk next to you on the sidewalk.
Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you.
Anyway, I'm positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken.
Very well. Right. Now I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items DeKiller left behind to get here. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. Request taking. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I've made no mistakes.
So you physically met your client, huh?
That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Okay. What bar? So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right?
Of course I did.
What was that? What was that? What was with the brief pause? We're pressing further. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details.
I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I've never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye.
Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
Jeez, I really don't know. It's hard to tell. Because like, we're trying to extend the trial, but we also want Matt found guilty. I'm gonna check on this one. Hello guide, scroll, when prompted, say, it was not important. Okay, it's not important. I really didn't know. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? Man, you're making the killer nervous. My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person?
I've already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him.
There's your slip up. There's your slip up. You said him.
That's when I thought I can trust this person as a client.
It's true what they say about talking face to face. I love staring into the eyes of people I trust. Just like you, Mr. Wright. Was his testimony just now of any importance?
No, that was very important. He used the wrong pronouns. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance.
Really?
If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony.
Very well. You got the wrong pronouns, dude. Okay, so I don't know if I'm supposed to... Do I press or do I present Adrian? She goes by she, her. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time.
Yes, that is correct.
And that's when you thought he was trustworthy?
How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct.
You know, you're supposed to be like a really good assassin, but like, you're messing up major. This whole case. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale.
What?
Shelley DeKiller. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews.
Why would you say that?
Because you made one very big slip up. About her.
So what is the issue?
Yeah, you realize now.
What did you say just now? About her?
If you'd ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she's a woman. Interesting that he just... I thought it was like he knew who Adrian Andrews was and just like slipped up because he was so used to like talking about Matt that he said he. I didn't think he literally thought Adrian was a man. Like, is Adrian a gender neutral name? I don't know. I can't remember if well, I don't know, maybe I have. Maybe I've heard people have the name Adrian regardless of gender. Oh! I exploded, but I will magically be put back together in a few seconds.
Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
This witness testified to the following, that he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request.
But he's never met Adrian Andrews in person.
Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. DeKiller's client could not have been this Adrian Andrews.
Ugh. Wait, what is that, oil?
Miss Edworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? Also, is he leaking oil?
I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor.
Her name?
Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name.
Yes, I see.
Unluckily for Mr. DeKiller,
It's crazy he did no research and thus didn't know anything about Adrian Andrews.
the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with.
What? What is going on? Shelley DeKiller, this court demands an explanation.
I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another.
So does that mean you remember something different now?
Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. Ugh, I know he is just going to spit out more lies. But it's good. It's buying us time, Phoenix.
Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. I am so tired of witnesses lying in my court. I will become the assassin and kill you with my laser vision.
Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been many times when I took a job without having met my client.
Didn't you already say you don't take your requests by mail?
The request was for the murder of Juan Carita and 2 or 3 other small things.
What?
When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man.
So you took this job through a letter.
He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he is definitely lying.
Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us.
I know. I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it.
Yeah, he will. Mr. Edgeworth is so reliable and handsome. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination.
Don't go to flirting with me now, Your Honor. You stick with Phoenix.
Okay. 2 or 3 other things? What do you mean? 2 or 3 other things?
Yes,
And what were these other things?
a few other things that have nothing to do with this case.
What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. And let's press him further. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes?
Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client?
That's... It's an angry transmitter now.
I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one?
Wait. Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. I have to think. Is this worth pursuing?
I think it probably is. We can talk our way out of it.
Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. Make him trust us. Think this is all part of our plan.
If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine.
The bear figurine?
After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing.
And where was that figurine?
It was inside Mr. Carita's suitcase.
And then, what did you do next?
I handed it over to my client right away.
You gave it to your client. Interesting.
This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony.
As you wish.
I already said that you gave it to Matt.
One of these was to find the bear figurine and give it to Adrian Andrews.
Okay, this trial is kind of stumping me a little. I checked the guide again. It's to present Celeste's suicide note, which doesn't really make that much sense to me. I know it was in the bear, but like, I'm not getting the logic there. Shelley DeKiller, if you had really given the bear to Ms. Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. This item. I see the logic now.
Oh, I see where you're going. Me too, Edgeworth.
Yup, that's where I'm going.
Where's everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? I be included?
Your Honor, please think back to Ms. Andrews' testimony.
And I was going to burn it, for her sake.
Right. Now I see the logic. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Ms. Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it.
Order, order, order. So that's where you two are going.
So by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle.
Which means...
It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client.
Oh!
Order, order, order.
Ugh. Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's not. That's enough. If that is your only intention, then there is only one thing for me to do. Wait, please. Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please. Not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end, and I may stay my hand. Otherwise, I'm screaming in court.
What in the... Mr. Wright, are you...
Having a hard time, Judge.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough?
Well, we should...
Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll...
The prosecution...
But what has come over everyone? Even you are. I feel so out of the loop.
The prosecution rests.
What is going on around here?
The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor.
What? What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation, even for my wacky court. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt Engard, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder.
Ms. Andrews would be charged with murder?
The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Engard, to the stand.
Items from DeKiller's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out.
It can't.
I can't believe it.
The outcome now lies in your hands.
Oh, you jerk.
Dude, did the old guy finally decide?
To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent.
Dude!
So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out.
Mr. Engard?
What an atrocious lawyer I have. Giving his own client up like this.
What? Why is he revealing himself as evil all of a sudden?
That refreshing like a spring breeze crap? It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already.
I guess because I tarnished his image. He's like, alright, I'll be evil.
Right, Mr. Lawyer?
Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life?
You better get Enguarde a guilty sentence, okay?
But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Ms. Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Any choice I make, someone's life is going to end. It all hinges on what I choose.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Enguarde, is innocent.
There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is gonna say what I want, aren't you?
Right? I can't do this. But I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Enguarde, is...
Down, no, we're checking. Okay,
choose whichever option you think is best.
really?
Okay. I'm saying he's guilty. Unless before I say anything, Von Karma is gonna come in.
We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Enguarde, your client deserves an answer.
Maya, I'm sorry. Matt Enguarde is... I've been whipped. There you are, girl. Franziska Von Karma.
What are you doing here? Ow!
You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off of that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces? Do you have them?
I knew you were gonna show up.
You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this.
What a filthy old coat this is.
That's Gumshoes. Oh, I can spot his tattered rags anywhere.
I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in.
I fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Why should it be something stupid? It looks stupid, but it's actually important. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence.
Your final evidence? This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict and go to Mahjong. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. Well, it would.
What?
Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence.
I swear, you've literally, handed down a verdict before, and we've been like, wait.
I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. I just love you too much. I can't say no. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If the items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by the court. Now, Ms. Von Karma, if you please, don't whip me.
These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police.
He must have been in quite a rush.
Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence.
Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there'll be something that will turn this whole situation around like a miracle. I'm sure of it.
That's all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol.
Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? Oh, jeez. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna keep the guide pulled up, honestly. Okay. I don't want a bad end here at the end. Okay, so, let's see. In all 3 cases, question Von Karma for more details so you know everything you need to know. Okay, we're gonna question her on everything then. Does that pistol have any relation to this case?
We have yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case. At least, with me. That's the pistol that he used to shoot you, isn't it?
Oh, that's right.
That's what I believe, yes.
Oh.
I kept the bullets they removed from my shoulder as a sort of memento. I'm sure it will be an excellent example for the test.
So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Franziska. It's probably not going to help us very much.
A small caliber pistol that is thought to have been fired by the killer at Franziska. The second piece of evidence is this videotape.
But the killer took that from Engard Mansion.
Let's find out.
That could have this...
We don't really need to see the crime anymore, though, because it's just going to be the killer killing him.
Have you checked the contents of that tape?
Unfortunately, there was no time to.
Oh, yeah.
But I would speculate that this tape is very important.
Why would you say that?
Because he came back to his hideout for it.
The killer went back for it?
That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Shelley the killer is no ordinary man.
When the item was retrieved, the killer violently tried to recover it. Contents unknown. It probably shows, like, him on it, which is why he wanted it.
The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform.
Was that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Was that used during the crime?
I'm almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets.
There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder.
There is one thing I found interesting about this uniform.
And what is that?
There's a button missing on this uniform.
A button?
It is a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue.
Worn by the killer on the night of the murder, one of its special buttons is missing.
That is all I have to present, Your Honor.
It's just as I thought.
And what is that, Your Honor?
I'm sure. Were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelley the killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing.
It is who is the client.
Yes, that is correct.
The videotape might say...
And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that.
It might. The videotape might.
Thank you for your hard work, Ms. Von Karma. You may now step down.
Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence.
Overruled. I want to go to Mahjong. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. No, it doesn't.
Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he?
Is this the end?
Phoenix?
I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there?
I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now.
But, no matter how you think about it, it's...
Try, for my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us.
2?
The first, make Engard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict.
Huh?
The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Engard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go.
That may be true, but that's asking for me to do the impossible.
The second way, force the killer to end his contract with Engard. If the killer were to no longer think of Engard as his client, then he would let Maya go.
Yeah, that's even more impossible. He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else.
I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle.
The biggest problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence.
I don't.
The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them.
Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us?
The other side? Which you mean to turn things around?
Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it?
The person who needs the evidence to kill her?
The defense, prosecution, and the judge, we have seen all the pieces of evidence. And that is how we have come to know the truth. But there's one person who has yet to see them all. And that person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end.
There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict.
Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
I object.
God, why? I've already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence.
You said I could object. I'm not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor.
Then you want to show the evidence to that person?
Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance, because I love you.
One chance.
Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person.
It's impossible to turn the situation around in one try.
One try. That is all I will permit so I can go to Mahjong.
I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix. Think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking a guard down at the same time.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show the evidence to?
I think it's to kill her. Let me look. I'm gonna check the guy just to be safe. Yeah, Shelly to kill her. You!
I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person.
I think it's the videotape. That's the one where it's like, it's the most vague, you know? We don't know much about it.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness.
Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier.
Alright. Looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right?
Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence.
Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempts to get this back.
That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape.
I thought so.
I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard.
Do you know the contents of this tape?
I was certainly told by my client to not watch it.
The killer's gotta be on it because he, Matt was recording the room and the killer probably doesn't want his identity exposed. So I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape.
Me?
Yeah. There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded.
What?
Is that true, Mr. Wright?
Who was it that placed the camera?
Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime. Would be your client, naturally. That's a betrayal of your trust.
That was Adrian Andrews.
Be quiet and listen, Your Honor.
I got yelled at. Yes, sir.
Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right?
Yes.
That was so they could film you.
I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why.
I don't know why. They suck. Why did Matt Engard film the crime scene? The reason why he did, that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to blackmail you. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said.
But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come on now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail.
Totally forgot you even said that.
Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep them at bay and even blackmail them if I want.
This is what happens when you don't play the game all at once. You do a let's play. So you can't record, or you can't play the game every day. You forget Matt and Guard saying stuff like this. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelley DeKiller? Good. Oh, I'm broken again. It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client.
I have one question for the witness.
Yes.
You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all.
Yes, that's right.
But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then?
That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the particular name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment.
I see. That's all I wanted to know.
So the traitor becomes DeKiller's next target. Oh, you're in for it, Matt. I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright? Yes? This is how we're gonna make Matt want to be declared guilty because he'll feel safe in prison. My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item.
What the? I'm not an item!
Yes, we got Maya back. Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness.
This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I didn't quite know what just happened there with the client and the witness and, This is on Karma, where did that?
She always has you in her sights. She wasn't even on screen and got you. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict.
Edgeworth, have you been whipped by Franziska? Like, we've not seen it, but like, she had to have gotten you growing up. Oh, he's freaking out now. Mr. Engard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You'll finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy.
But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watched this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please.
Is that all right with you, Mr. Wright?
We finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you.
Right, Chief. I think it's not gonna matter either way, but I want to keep him on edge. I want to make him be like, no, please make me guilty. Congratulations, Mr. Matt Engard. Please make sure to savor every moment of what little time you have left. Your Honor, as always, the defense pleads not guilty.
Very well. This court finds the defendant Matt Engard.
Come on. Admit your guilt. Do it. Yeah, that's right.
Please wait.
What's the matter?
If I get not guilty, I'll
I'll be killed. I'm... No! Guilt. Oh my... Ew! Yeah, you're guilty. Ew! Ew! Gross. You're all gross now. You scratch yourself up.
As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth through the most backwards, weird ways possible.
I don't remember you helping out much in this.
That's because you made me a third wheel. Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt and Guard?
Severely injured from the scratches, I've left Ms. Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full-course meal of whip leather right about now.
Oh yeah, he is.
Very good. I love that. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness?
Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society from now on for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair.
She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did.
This witness, how shall I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved.
Aw. Wow. It's the first time I've ever seen her smile.
I really am happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am.
Good for you, girl.
Thank you so much, everyone.
It looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about, as always, but everyone seems to be in good spirits. I need to get to Mahjong, so this is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned for the final time of this game. I didn't get to release any confetti today, which is most sad.
You were great out there, Phoenix.
What I did out there was right, wasn't it?
This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right?
Yes, I understand now.
Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Ms. Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make.
Flashback. Now then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter.
Can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Yeah, we've been through this. Should I side with justice or save Maya? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, my client is...
Is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then. And your answer? Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you.
Right.
Hi, baby.
Edgeworth.
I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody.
Really?
Oh, hi, Pearl. Pearl's...
You're telling the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here, as we speak in a patrol car.
Mr. Maya! Mr. Maya's safe! You did it! You really did it, Mr. Dick!
Ow! She punches deceptively hard for a kick.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Dick will save her. Mr. Dick will save her. Oh.
Oh, Pearl. Thanks.
Oh.
What's wrong?
Ms. Von Karma.
Hey!
You want to, like, not give me one last whip for the game? Like, you don't have to give me one for the road. About earlier. Thanks. Ow! Yeah, there it is.
Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet, you are still happy.
I don't think you'll ever understand, Ms. Von Karma.
How dare you? Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago.
Edgeworth.
for my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remained spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then,
My favorite case.
it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death.
As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die.
But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change.
What foolish nonsense.
We prosecutors use anything we can to protect the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well.
What? You trusted your enemy?
It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold, and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach the one single truth. This I promise you.
The truth?
Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding, isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night.
Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me. All those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself.
You pathetic fool! Ms. Von Karma? I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over.
Franziska threw something on the ground just now.
This is an electromagnetic receiver.
Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe?
I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else.
Is that Ms. Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action.
She's gonna follow your footsteps now? Prosecutor Franziska Von Karma chooses death.
You should keep this right.
Okay.
Nick!
Maya, you're okay. Maya!
This is Maya. This is Maya. Oh, look, you're so cute. Happy reunion. Aw. Oh, Nick, I knew you'd come through. You got in guard convicted, like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here.
Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I'd just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly.
Is it really that easy to do something like that?
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Don't mention it.
Maya. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm relieved you're all right.
You get better at expressing your feelings, Edgeworth.
Hey, looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago.
Girl, you've not eaten in days.
All right. I think it's time we got out of this depressing place.
Huh? Where are we going?
Food, Nick. Food. Grub. Chow. I'm starved. Literally. He starved me. I'm so hungry. Even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick.
You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least.
Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please.
If you insist. Yes. Come with us.
Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint?
Don't be silly, Nick.
Huh?
This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I decided that we have to make it up by having another feast.
Another feast?
Come on, Nick. Food.
Yeah, we're back. I hope old Bag's not here.
Hey, pal. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. I'm injured.
Gumshoe, are you alright?
Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things.
A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him?
You did it again, city boy. Oh god, old Bag might be here. I felt like my dear old heart was going to give out on me. And I ain't joking.
Yeah, it was more exciting than ever than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai. Thanks.
Now look here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he just might kick it. Not even. I'll keep that in mind. It's like I'm so out of my element here. Well, come on now. Everyone gather around. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine photographer or professional photographer.
Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera.
Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal. Amen.
You know, if you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, Detective.
Huh? Me? You really think so?
He's right.
If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending. Ah, well, you know, it's ha 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 ha. Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. What?
4?
Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket.
There was a 4th item?
Oh, come on, y'all. It's over. But whoo boy, I tell ya, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped. Never a dull moment with you, huh? You think?
What was that 4th thing? Why does she look so happy about that?
But being shut away for 2 whole days. Weren't you scared?
Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had a rough gal. So, where's this picture of yours?
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mr. Gladia's picture.
You know, I don't know where it went.
Is that the 4th thing? Maybe?
Aw, that's too bad.
Well, that's alright. Wasn't anything important anyway.
It sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. Uh-oh.
Huh?
What is it, Edgeworth?
This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Ms. Von Karma's receiver. Thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. Can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I'm out of my element, as I said. I still have some work to do. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't eaten anything yet.
You're eating way too much, you glutton.
Oh, had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Wait,
What?
I just want to say thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there.
Humph. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me. It should be me, right?
Feels like words alone aren't enough here. What if there's anything else I can give him to express how I feel? Am I supposed to give him the whip? Does it say in the guide? I give him my donut. And, okay, when given the chance to present it, the whip. Okay. I guess I'm giving him the whip.
What's this?
Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her.
You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job.
It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Dick. Hey, Mr. Maya.
I'll miss you. I know you're gonna show up in the third game, and I'm gonna miss you until then.
Yes, Riley? I guess you two could go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You, Mr. Dick? I mean...
Pearly! Did you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me.
Anyway. So who's paying for this lovely dinner party?
As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put your name on the bill.
Huh? Huh?
Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be, anyhow, for $3,000. Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all. What the heck?
Isn't this great, Mr. Dick?
Yeah, Nick.
Why do I suddenly feel like screaming?
Aw, you don't need to hold back now, you hear? Yeah, pal. Time to let it all out.
This is going to be the first time I hear the real you.
Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all.
Alright then. If you say so. I object to this. Roll the credits. Okay. Is it gonna be normal credits, or are we gonna flash to people like we did in the first game? Because if they're normal credits, I'll just start talking about my thoughts. Okay, no.
You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro.
Girl, I swear to God, if you get accused of murder in the third game yet...
I'm so happy that you can save Mr. Maya, Mr. Dick. I'm so happy for the two of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners. So I sort of made reservations for the two of you, just in case.
Pearl, no. You're not dating. Just like my sister. It's gonna be a longer video. That's okay, because it's the finale.
Well, pal, looks like I'm back on the force again.
Good for you, I knew that happened.
Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. I heard he said things like, letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it. Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal.
There's no way you're staying off the police force, Gumshoe. Who's next? Oh, I don't know what voice I gave you. I don't know. I'm Maggie Bird. I'm retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright. I don't know what her voice was. She was like in such a small part of the game. I don't even have a guess. I would have to go back and literally listen to what I did for her. Oh, I remember you though.
Yes, are you here to visit a patient? I'm Director Hottie. Oh. Recently? Yes. That girl, you know, I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember, if I even laid so much as an eye on her, it would go crack. It didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes. Ho, ho.
You were a weirdo. We didn't get Old Bag in that ending scene, which is good, but you know we're gonna get her here. It's gonna go through everyone. Oh god, Max. It's time to begin our quest of world circus domination, sweetie. And to let the world know we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe.
Hey Max, what do you think Zimbabwe is like? Do you think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk?
I think if there are talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at Mo's jokes. Got a 2-for-1 there. And I was like thrown off because Regina showed up and I wasn't expecting her and I had to like immediately be like, okay, her voice was...
I'm ready. There's no way these jokes aren't gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm gonna be more contemporary with my humor. Mo Curls represent.
Got our new act and worked out called Hallelujah Chorus. I went too fast. Say something, will ya? You're supposed to start with us off. Get on with it. The 2 characters in one scene are throwing me off.
What's this? Drat, it's just an ordinary... Ah! I can't believe this, really. How long did they plan on making me do this? Yeah, but it's Edgy Poo's idea, so that means it must have a deep hidden meaning. But why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? Yeah, it was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me the Queen Wendy and treat me like a royalty.
Come on. Ray gun me one more time.
Yes, a burn, playing with fire, where they stored the scenery, where they...
Okay. I missed that first line. Like, I don't know why, like, I saw that line. I'm switching between voices too much. I was just like, I saw the line come up and I was like, old bag voice, come on. Ah.
I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edgeworth did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Ms. Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone.
She can be your new person to look up to. Though you're gonna get whipped a lot. If you do. It has become difficult for me in this country. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity. He has a website. Hire me on shellythekiller.com. He just gets away with murder, though. International departures, gate 12. Where are you going, Franziska?
How did you know I was here? With this? That's... I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example.
Oh, you still have his coat.
Humph, that's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going into the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. 4 things? It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here. It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. Franziska. So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius. There's no doubt about that. But me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but
you're not a murderer like him.
You are a prosecutor. You have been and you always will be.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away.
speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. The prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you would think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. Oh, I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did.
Adrian Andrews?
You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics. Isn't that right? Humph. Today you chased after me after I had left you behind after all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma.
Oh my god!
I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you'd better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth.
Aw. Finally see her not being smug and mean.
Away she goes on the plane.
Phoenix Wright. Who sang this? One day, someday. I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Was that Franziska saying that? I'm gonna assume so.
Until then, this last piece of evidence that's never made it to you. I'll take good care of this fourth piece.
What is it?
So I can give it to you when at last we meet again.
I wonder what it is. I wonder if we ever find out. Does Von Karma come back? I don't know. There's her drawing. I knew it. Nick. Cute. Okay. That does it for the second Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game. Okay, I'm gonna try and quickly give my thoughts because I'm running out of time here, and that took a lot longer than I thought it would. So, this game, it was kind of a mixed bag. I definitely still prefer the first game. I think the first game was really solid. This game, it's like, the first trial I thought was really forgettable, hence why I forgot Maggie Bird's voice. The second trial, it was decent. It was weird how, like, we went back in time for that trial, which made the pacing of this game just feel, like, really weird. It made it feel like that was the first trial, and so that almost made it feel like there was only 3 chapters in this game. I already gave my thoughts in the circus case. Not a fan. This case, though, was really good. My favorite case is definitely still the Edgeworth one from the last game, but this has got to be my second favorite case in the series so far. I really love how they turned everything on its head with the person we were defending. They actually were guilty, and we lost. We got the McGuilty verdict. I loved how Edgeworth came back. I loved how involved he was in that last trial. Franziska? I don't have much thoughts on her, I guess. Like, she was only in 2 trials, which is interesting. I felt like they could have done more with her character, though I feel like my opinion on her now is like slightly different after seeing that last scene of her with Edgeworth. It's like, I don't know, they're very much like siblings, and I like that dynamic, and I wish we got to see them just interact more, because like I said, they really feel like siblings. And like, that was really sweet at the end, to see her like actually finally like not just be smug, like she got emotional, and Edgeworth being like, we're equals. I really liked that. I think that really helped add to her character because I felt like there really just wasn't much to her character. So it would have been nice to actually get more depth from her. But instead of getting more depth, we got more Edgeworth. And I'm never gonna complain about that because I love Edgeworth so much. I really loved the story with him in this. Like how he was gone, he came back, He thought things about what it really meant to be a prosecutor. We'd like fully trust each other now. Like we had like a back and forth going in that trial. Like we were helping each other. The whole thing's kind of weird. Like the fact that they added that trial at the end of the first game where we were doing the same thing in that. Like we were working together, but that did not exist when this came out. That muddles things a bit. Like Phoenix being mad at Edgeworth, like leaving, and Edgeworth being like, oh, like I can trust you, and like I don't see you as my enemy anymore. Like him like realizing things. Like I guess that was kind of like we saw it happen there, and then him like fully leave. But it's also just, I don't know, it muddles things a bit. Like we had this thing, but also you two were working together at the end of the last game. I don't know. Yeah. So overall, mixed bag of a game. I still enjoyed it. I still had fun, but definitely the first one is still my favorite. So yeah, next week we'll continue and start the final game in this trilogy, and we'll see how that one stacks up. I have actually heard good things about that one. I feel like out of the trilogy, I've seen a lot of people say either the first or the third one is their favorite. So yeah, I'll be excited to see how it goes. So our Ace Attorney journey is gonna go on for a little bit longer with the third game. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!